Hello everyone, hope you are doing good. Welcome back to our PO1 very first C++ programming bootcamp. This is week 3 and we will talk about loops. What is loops? How it works? Why we are considering loops? What are the types of loops? And what are the problems which can be solved with the help of the loops, etc. Okay, so let's get started. What is loop? In computer programming, a loop is a sequence of instructions that is continually repeated until a certain condition is reached. Or like we can say that loops in programming comes into use when we need to repeatedly execute a block of statements. Okay, so let's consider an example. Suppose we want to print hello world 10 times. Don't you think this way it's too lengthy to write each and every statement of code over and over again till 10 times? So, is there any other way to solve this, like to write hello world in just one statement and it will execute as much as time we want? Is there any other way? Let's find out. First, for that, we have to know what are the parts of a loop. Loop consists of 4 parts: initialization expressions, test expression, update expressions, and the body of the loop. Initialization expressions initializes the loop variable in the beginning of a loop. And we can say that like it is the first statement of the loop where the loop variable is initialized. Second comes test expression. Test expression decides whether the loop will be executed or not. If the test expression is true, the loop will be executed, and if the test expression is false, the loops will get terminated. Third one is update expression. Update expression updates the value of loop variables after every iteration of the loop. It means like first earlier the V initializes the loop variable by some value, and update expression that value is incremented or decremented by some value. Okay. At last, the body of the loop. Body of the loops contains statements to be executed repeatedly, and we can say that the code which we want to be executed repeatedly over and over again is present in the body of the loop. Okay. Now, what are the advantages of loops? Do we think like is why we are using loops and all? See, when need repetition of same code, a number of times at that place use loop in place of writing the same code over and over again. The way of repetition will be forms a circle. That's why like repeating statements are known as loops. The advantages of loops like it reduces the length of the code, like rather than printing the same code again and again or writing the same code again and again, just we can write the single statement and the loops will execute over it as much as time we want, and also it takes less memory space. Okay, so now let's move further to the types of the loop. What are the types of the loop? Loops are basically divided into 3 major categories: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Here, each type have a specific functionality and being used over various conditions as per the requirements. Okay, so let's first consider for loop. For loop. A for loop is a repetition control structure that allows you to efficiently write a loop that needs to execute a specific number of times. Okay, for loops, we can say that in for loops, a statement is continuously runs till it meets the condition. Okay, here is the syntax of for loop. For loop, here is the initialization expression, text expression, update expression. Initialization expression also can be known as like start expression, etc. And here is the body is the curly in the curly braces, the body of the loop, or we can say that the statements we want to execute. Okay, the start expression, or we can say that the initialization expression is evaluated before the loop begins. It is acceptable to declare and assign in the start expressions, or we can say that it is assigned in the initialization expression. This initialization expression is evaluated only once at the beginning of the loop. Now here's test expression. The test expression will evaluate to be true or false. While true, the body of the loop repeat. When test expression becomes false, the looping stops and the program continues with the statement immediately following the for loop body in the program code. Now third is update expression, or it can be known as count expression also. Update expression executes after each step through the loop. The count may increase or decrease by an increment of 1 or of some other value. Understand? Or we can say that like in the for loop, the initialization statement is executed only once at the beginning of the loop. Then the test expression is checked by the program. If the test expression is false, for loop is terminated. But if the test expression is true, then the code inside the body of the loop and then is executed, and then update expression is updated. This process repeats until test expression is false. Okay. Now here's a flow chart of like how for loop works. See, here from here the for loop starts, and then we have an initialization expression where the evaluation before the loop begins. It is acceptable to declare and assign in the initialization expressions. Then it passes through the test condition. If the test condition seems to true, then it executes a block of statements and then it will update expression. After updating that expression, it will again move to the checking condition, like to test the condition. If again the test condition comes out true, then again the block of statements will execute and again the expressions for got updated and again goes to test the condition. But this time if the test conditions comes out to be false, then this things not get executed and the loops gets stopped and terminated out. In this way, for loops work. Now I guess we got an answer of our question, like how to write hello world 10 times in just 3 or 4 lines of code rather than writing the same statement over and over and over again. So here is this. Hashtag include IOStream. This is the library we are using, and namespace std, and here we are entering into the main program. For like for this we use for loop, and here we are initializes I variable to 1. Okay, and it is this initialization expression. In this test condition we are putting here is I should be less than equals to 10. Okay, I should be less than equals to 10, and the update expression here is I plus plus, that is increment I by 1, and the body of the loop contains cout, that is means print hello world. Okay, so how it works? First, the initialized expression is evaluated only once, like int I is equals to 1. It's now the variable as the I variable has one value now, and then it passes through a test condition. Is 1 is less than equals to 10? Of course, 1 is less than 10. Then it jumps into the body of the loop, and here it executes cout hello world, which gives us hello world for the first time. And then it goes to the update expression. Here it seems like I plus plus, the value of I incremented by 1, and now the value of I becomes 2. Now again it passes through the condition, and here see 2 is less than equals to 10. Of course 2 is less than 10. So again it jumps into the body, and again it prints hello world. Again it jumps to the update expression. Here again I was incremented, I is incremented by 1. Now the value of I becomes 3, and yeah, again it passes through the condition 3 is less than equals to 10. Yeah, 3 is less than equals to 10. So this code again runs, and so on, so on, so on. This loop will run. When I is greater than 10, means suppose I is equals to 10. Now it will go to the update expression, and now I plus plus it increment by 1, and now the value of I equals to 11. What will happen? The test conditions comes out false, and the loop will never executed this body of the loop, and it got terminated out of the program. In this way our for loop works. Okay, now let's take another example. Just let me check. Yeah, yeah, here's an, let's take this in another example. Let's take a part for the loop from the example, what each part does here. Okay, int I is equals to 1. What is this? It is a variable named I, is declared with the value of 1. Okay, int less than equals to 5, which is the condition of the loop states that as long as the variable is less than equals to 5, the loop should keep running. Okay, this test expression was stating that as long as the variable I is less than equals to 5, the loop should keep running. And the next statement is here I plus plus. What is I plus plus? The increment statement part of the loop. Okay, which we can like the update expression. It states that for every iteration of the loop, the value of the variable I should increase by 1. Recall that initially I is equals to 1. Okay, then this statement, the body of the loop, what is it stating? It is stating that print the value of I with a new line. This handle representing new line. Print the value of I with a new line for each time of the loop runs. Okay? This is stating this. Now let's see how it works. Initially, I is equals to 1. Okay? Initially, these are initial statement. Initially, I is equals to 1. Now, checking the value of I is equals to 1 with test expression. What is the test expression here? I should be less than equals to 5. Which is true. It is true, like 1 is less than or equals to 5. So now print the value of I is 1. Okay. And then now variable I is updated by 2 because of this update expression. As it says I plus plus. It means increment the value of I by 1. So now the variable value equals to 2. Checking this expression, 2 is less than equals to 5. Yeah, which is true. Print the value of I is 2. Now the variable is updated to 3. Again checking this expression, 3 is less than equals to 5, which is true. Yeah, 3 is less than equals to 5. Then again print the value of I is equals to 3. And now the variable gets updated by 4 as the increment of I. It means we have to increment the value of I by 1. Now the variable I is equals to 4. Now again it checks the condition that still is less than equals to 5. Yeah, it's true. Then again print the value of 5. And now the value of I becomes 5. Now again check 5 is less than equals to 5. Yeah, 5 is equals to 5. Again print this code. And again let's get the value of variable gets updated. Now after 5 the value of the variable gets updated. I is equals to 6. Now what will happen? It will check the test condition and see 6 is less than equals to 5. Obviously not. 6 is greater than 5. So, which means this test expression results false. This, just a second. Just a second, yeah. This test expression results false. It means loops gets terminated. Let's run this program and we can see that if our program is correct or not. See, we get the value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 5. Why didn't we get the value 6? Because 6 doesn't match the condition as it is not less than or equals to 5. That's why the loops get terminated and the program is end. As simple as that. It's just the way it's look like first it initializes it, then it passes through a test condition. If it's true, then it goes into the loop and run the body of the loop and gets updated by the update expressions. If it's, and again let's check the test condition. If it's still true, then run through the loop again And if the test condition false false, it gets terminated out of the loop. As simple as that. So yeah, okay. Then now get back to this programming slides. Yeah, this one we already discussed. Yep. Yeah. Now here's a problem statement for us, which is like write a program to calculate the factorial of a number. Now the question is what is factorial? See, the factorial of a number n is the product of all number from 1 up to the number n. It is denoted by like n factorial. Okay. Like for example, n is equals to 5 and then factor of 5 will be 1 multiplication by 2 multiplication by 3 multiplication by 4 and multiplication by 5, which is equals to like 120. So that's why like 5 factorial equals to 120. This is the like main point of like what is factorial. Okay, so we have to find the factorial of a number through a program. So let's get back to our like coding thing and just replace it this way. See how can we do this? Guys, I'm just here like copy pasting, but make sure you don't do that. You perform it your own in order to get better understanding. So please. Okay. So see. So let's see how this program works. Here we are declaring the our integer variables, which is I, n, and factorial. The factorial variable, we are initializing it to 1 already. Okay. Cout which is used to like print like enter a positive integer, which is the message which is appear on our screen when we run this program. And scene is used to take the input from the user. So scene is for that. And now the for loop begins. Here what is it saying, like int I is equals to 1. Here what we are doing. Here we are initializing I is equals to 1. And here we are just declaring a variable. Like we have declaring a variable means we have that key, we have that variable in our program. Okay, and here we are just initializing that variable to 1. Remember, like here is like we put only the initialization expression. So here is the initialized expression is I is equals to 1. Okay. Now the test expression, what we are putting here is test condition is I should be less than equals to n. Okay. Now what is n? Here is we declared n earlier. Here, see this. Okay. And what is n now? N is the number, or we can say that n is the input which is taken by the user. Okay, suppose like user entered 5, so here n is equals to 5. So we will check like is I is equals, I means 1. If 1 is less than equals to 5 or not? Yeah, obviously if 1 is equal less than 5. So then it enters into the loop, which is say that factorial multiplies equals to 1. What does it mean? It means like Yeah. Yep. It means like factorial is equals to factorial multiplication by I. What is this sense? Like initially we are initializing factorial variable to 1, and now what we are doing here? We are adding, in fact, we are adding like factor multiply I by factorial, which is 1 into 1, and assigning it to the factorial again. Okay, in that way we can find the factorial of the our number. Okay, now after that it will move to the update expression, which is saying that I plus plus. What is I plus plus? Increment I by 1. Now what the value of I becomes? Here I is equals to 2 now. Again the test expressions comes under existence. Here 2 is less than equals to 5. Yeah, 2 is less than equals to 5. So yeah, test expression is true. Now again this code will run and the factorial becomes 2. After that variable I is updated to 3. Then again test expression checked and it's false to be true, and factorial becomes 6 now. After that variable I is updated to 4, and that test expression again checked and it again found to be true, and now it executes the following code and factorial becomes 24. And again variable is updated to 5. Again test expression was checked and again it found to be true, and now this code will run and factorial becomes 120. Okay, now see what happened earlier. I was last was 5. Now it again goes to update expression and I gets incremented by 1, means 5 gets incremented by 1 and it's equals to 6. Now value of I is equals to 6. Now what happened? Is the test condition found to be true for 6? Obviously not. 6 is greater than n, or we can say that 6 is greater than 5. So test expression found to be false and the for loop gets terminated. Okay. So let's check whether it is giving us correct output or not. See, it is asking for an integer, like enter a positive integer. I enter 5 and press enter. See, factorial of 5 is equals to 120. Okay. As is that, just make sure to keep in mind that we are just what is factorial. Just make sure like you have the correct knowledge of what the question is asking or what the problem statement is about. Okay. Here is the statement is about write a program to calculate the factorial of a number. So we have to keep in mind that the factorial of a number n is the product of all number from 1 to the up to the number n. Okay. So like if someone asks to find the factorial of the number 6, what will the factorial of number 6? So it is the product of all the number from 1 up to the number 6. Okay. So yeah. Now again, here it is infinite for loop. Yeah. Infinite for loop. What is infinite for loop? See, if you use 2 semicolons like this one, okay, in the for loop, it will be infinitive for loop. You are thinking like What if we using and this and how can be like infinite for loop? And what do you mean by like infinite? Infinite means the loop will never ends. That loop that will never ends. Continuously running and running and running and running. Okay. So see what happens like first look at the syntax and I will talk to the logic about that. See for loop and just put in this like here is we see why it is a semicolons here. Yeah, like if you remember, like we have the syntax of for loop, something like just a second. See, this time it is like initialization expression, this is test expression, and this is update expression. Okay, so here it like semicolon are present, but in this only semicolons are present. Here is no initialization expression, no test expression, and no update expression. Okay, only semicolons are present here. All other three things are empty here. And we started in the curly braces the code to be executed, or we can set that the code, the body of the loop. Okay, we have to keep in mind few points about like infinite for loop is that like in for loop like if condition part is not given, okay, like see here it is no condition part is given, no initialization statement is given, and no test expression is given, and no update expression is given. Okay, no condition part is given, then it will repeats infinite times. Okay, remember that one thing in for loop, in if condition part is not given, then it will repeats infinite times. Okay, why? While now you are thinking like why it's so? So because like condition part will replace it non-zero. Okay, so it is always true like for one like mm, let me take you this here. Just a second. Yeah. Here we can say that like for loop. So it is always true like, है ना? See, because condition part will always replace it non-zero, or we can say that it should be like semicolon and semicolon. Here what's happening? See, here what's happening? The conditional statement, or we can say that the test expression which we have to put in our for loop. Here, if it doesn't give him or the give the like give it doesn't put in the test expression in our for loop, then it will automatically replace it by a non-zero value which is always true like 1. Okay, now if it is always true, then the code will always run, never ends, because the test expression never found to be false. If the test expression never found to be false, the for loop will never end. Okay, one thing is like for loop is repeats in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, what is anti-clockwise? You know, like, right? For loop is always repeats in anti-clockwise direction. Now let's see what is the result. Uh, okay. So yeah, just let's take an example of an for loop here. Just a second. See, okay, here's an example of for loop, which is like int main, and the syntax like we are not giving any condition. Here is in this for loop, see, we are not giving any expression, not even like initialization expression, not even like a test expression, and not even like update expression. Remember I said you earlier that like in for loop if condition part, what is condition part? This one which comes between like initialization expression and the test expression, or we can update expression, sorry, okay. So which comes between like initialization expression and the update expression is known as the condition part, or we can say the test expression part. If we are not given, like if we are not putting any condition in the for loop, it will be go infinite times, okay. So now let's check whether its could work or not, run infinite times or not. See what happening? It is running infinite times. Now just let me stop, otherwise, yeah, signal, okay. See, it will run infinite times. No counting is there. Why? Because condition part will be replaced by non-zero. In this condition part, it is replaced by 1. Now what happens? See, for like there is no initialization for 1 means if 1 is true, yeah, obviously 1 is true, then out hello world. This condition will always be found to be true. Okay? So that's why hello world print infinite times. In this context, we use infinite loops, but yeah, it's just a thing that we should know about that. But yeah, it given that in for loop, like we can also like also rechecking process will be occurred. That is before execution of the statement block, condition part will be evaluated. Okay. What is rechecking process like? Before execution of the statement block, this one, it is a statement block, right? Or we can say that body of the loop. Condition part will evaluate it. This one, it is evaluated. What is this? Is this true or not? Okay. This we already know that before executing this body of the loop, or we can say that before executing this for loop, and we can say that before executing this statement block, always evaluation part, or we can say the condition part will be evaluated. Okay, we can say that the test expression will also always evaluate it, right? First it will go for through initialization expression, after that it will check the test expression condition and move into the loop. Okay, if it's found true, only in that case it runs through the body of the loop, otherwise it's directly gets terminated out of the loop. That's the significance of the infinite for loop. Okay, you can try yourself it and sorry, just a second. What happened? Okay, you should try it yourself, and let's and check like what's happened and what we can do further with this, play with this. Okay, now let's get back into this. And yeah, here this one is done. Yeah, here this comes like try it yourself. Okay, now we are like pretty much sure like what is for loop and what is the text expression, what is the update expression, and how we initialize the variable, and what should be the put in the body of the loop, etc. So now you are like able to do this for yourself, like write the table of 5 using for loop. It's as easy as that. Try it yourself once. Okay, and if you have any queries, put in the comment section. I would like really happy to help you out. And another class, and in the next class I will discuss the solution of this problem as well. Okay, so that's it guys. I hope you are able to understand, and yeah, thank you so much. See ya.